Greetings, Hacksters! Welcome to Friday. I'm very excited to be cruising into the weekend with some new stuff in a mailbag that we're going to open up in a minute. I actually just arrived today, uh, and I was on the phone with the person who sent this thing. I didn't even realize that it had arrived, and it did just now. So we've got some cool new hardware to look at. But also, I'd love to announce the winners of our really quick um, Valentine's Day mini campaign that we ran this week. So if you're not familiar, or if you are, it's still true. We have all these different communities on Hackster for various topics, and we also have, of course, a very strong tagging system. So earlier this week, we launched this super quick campaign where you add the Valentine's tag to your project. You may already have some that are on the site that are relevant, and we want to encourage people to use these tags so that it's easy to find stuff, because publishing open source stuff is one thing, and then making it findable is another, as we'll find out later on. Speaking of which, I'm going to give you the quick rundown of today because there's a number of different things that I want to cover. We've got the winner's announcement for who's winning swag through the Valentine's mini campaign. We've also got a cool mailbag, which is part of my I want to give like a little love letter to open source, basically. And also, I'm working on a new companion bot, which is based on a D&D owlbear, a new system, in fact, that I'm calling Beanie Bots, as you'll discover why soon enough. So, we're gonna go through all those things, and you'll see why I say this about making things discoverable and findable, even when they're open source. So, anyway, uh, the whole campaign was about encouraging people to use tags, which help people find projects. And you can do this on any of your projects. If you have anything that's relevant, the contest is technically over, but you can still add these tags and anything else that's relevant to your projects, and maybe we'll do more of these, and maybe you'll win some swag. So the first step, of course, is to share your project. Uh, we're featuring the top 14 projects, and they'll all receive cool swag bundles. I myself am not eligible, of course, but yeah, all you had to do was add a Valentine's tag. So be sure to keep tabs on our blog in case one of these comes up again and you might be eligible. So a little bit more about that. We've got 38 projects with this tag right now. I'm going to go have a look at them. I've pulled up the ones that I think have won, but that could have updated in the last few minutes. And um, I haven't looked at them at all yet, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we do have a how do I add tags on a project um, docs page, just in case you would like a little more guidance on that. Also, I'd like to point out that besides tags, we also have our topic communities. So sometimes if you add a specific tag, it'll be automatically added to a relevant community. So we have, for example, companion bots. If you add companion to your project, if you add holidays to your project, it'll go in the holidays one that we saw recently. So Valentine's ones, I think, may or may not also get automatically added there. I'll have to look it up. But then there's like bikes. We have a couple of specific ones for like Halloween, which has 202 projects on its own. It's very like, people love Halloween. Along with there's like a couple different pages of these, but you can see sort of what we've got going on here. And these also dovetail with our impact spotlights that we're doing, monthly themed impact spotlights featuring projects from the community that are doing cool stuff to help make the world better and featuring those tech thingies. Okay, so uh, let's see, trending. We're going to switch this to the most respected. That's when you give a little thumbs up on a project. And my internet is struggling with the video, but we'll give it a second. Um, you gonna do it? There we go. Okay, so the first one on here I think is really interesting. I actually interviewed Yuri about his ever-blooming mechanical tulip. This is a classic project that kind of blew up on the internet. He published it on Hackster in 2019 and ended up founding a company called Flower, Floower, to manufacture and sell these. Although he was, I believe, still manufacturing all of them by hand when I talked to him, because that's that's so intense. But he had all these special soldering jigs and stuff like that, and you get them with different metals and different bases and stuff. But he goes really in depth on this project, and I think there's a great reason that he got so many respects on this, because it's beautiful, and he has beautiful photography, beautiful lighting, and it's just a very well thought out project that was a gift, I believe, for his wife. Let's find out. Not sure. But anyway, you can find out more in the cafe interview that we did. And this was like 3 years ago. So, I, at this point, do not remember what he told me about, whether it was from someone special or not. I believe it was for his wife. But check out this beautiful skeleton Arduino he made as well. And that lightning bug or firefly or whatever you call it. He's also got a GitHub page and an Instagram where he continues to post cool stuff. So you can find out more about that project. I believe the flower company itself no longer exists, but the project does live on. It is ever blooming. So let me just double check that we've got 39 projects now, but the second one is still Valentine Blink wireless LED hearts. Let's check that out. This is so cute. Oh man. So they're on are they on a string or is that just paper? Oh, that's so cute. Oh man, did they put magnets under there to like move them across? How'd they do that? Movie magic. Look at these. Both the hearts need to be on and within range to blink. If you turn on off either of the hearts or go out of range, they will stop blinking. This is so cute. Let's see how they work. We got an NRF24 L01 Plus. 2.4 gigahertz band for communication. You've got auto AX sleep mode and IRQs. You've got an onboard antenna which saves space, using an SMD version of the chip instead of the main module because it's so small, and it gets a better range. That's cool. So yeah, challenges of soldering SMD, but this is really cute. I didn't realize there were multiple NeoPixels in there, so this is a really cool advanced project. Love it. Oh, I thought this was 3D printed too. Is this? Ha! It's a decoration plastic heart box. Cool. Well, that's extremely cute. So that is our second most highly respected project. Again, the top 14, barring my own, will be getting a cool swag package. We've got the Circuito.io team with a Valentine sunflower, obviously a bit inspired. Well, actually, this came out before Yuri's one. Interesting. 3D printed sunflower that opens and closes in reaction to light. Look how gorgeous. Ah, I guess it's not sensitive to UV light or something. But very beautiful. They make some really cool stuff. This is a platform, by the way, Circuito for designing electronics. Then we've got Kitty Young, a repeat guest on Hackster, one of our pros, and she's made a beautiful dress. She's a genius. Well, overall and wearable tech. She publishes a lot of wearable tech stuff, but she also does quantum computing in like her day job, and created an adorable cartoon book about how to learn about quantum computing, which I think is amazing. She's just super cool. So she made this beautiful dress that is a heart rate dress. Awesome. Using a heart rate monitor from DF Robot and taking some cool pictures. Congrats to Kitty. Always awesome to have her on the channel. A WizBlock heart for Valentine's Day is our fourth one. Check it out. We've got an adorable little, that looks like an e-paper display. Ah, what does it say? Does not say on there. So what does it do? It displays messages full of love every time you shake the heart. Love it. Ah, that's so cool. What is the e-paper screen they're using, I wonder? There's a really cool company called soldered.com, really good stuff with e-paper that makes this all a lot easier. So check it out. Really nice in-depth tutorial. You'll notice a theme, which is that a lot of these have really good tutorials. You've got GIFs showing various parts of the process. You've got included like 3D printing designs, as well as the electrical components and schematics and stuff. So everything is really included here. You've got code. You can link to GitHub and embed that. All super easy. Next up, we have the Valentine Blink, a voice-controlled LED heart. Check that out. Okay, so what does it do? It just like, does it respond to commands, or does it light up when it hears sound? It's got a speech module, an Arduino Nano, and an LED board. What? Simple VR module. Does not require any speech training and can recognize anyone's voice. The module has a USB port to flash commands using PC software. Commands are stored in a text file and can be edited with any text editor. What is this from? This is we've got some classic projects on here, which is pretty great. 2017, you're already doing that. Wow! It looks like the module itself may have been taken, or the link may have changed, but not to worry, the rest of the tutorial is still here, and I will show you in a minute. I'm doing a little bit of open source archaeology myself. So, very excited about these kinds of things. All right, Deadbug Valentine. I love deadbug soldering. I think it is so cool, aka circuit sculptures, aka skeleton circuits or whatever. There's lots of different terms for this. Deadbug soldering is essentially just like soldering electronic components and wires directly together without mounting them onto a circuit board. Um, as you saw with Yuri's beautiful preview of his cafe interview. So I've done a little bit of this type of soldering as well to make like circuit sculpture earrings and such. Um, oh, well, someone asked why so few viewers? Well, that's because I decided to go live this evening uh, after pulling up a bunch of tabs and I wasn't sure when I was going to go live. So I did not advertise it. But most people watch after the fact anyway. This is the cool thing is that people can come on and especially if you subscribe, you'll always get notified when I'm going live, but also you'll be able to find these after the fact. So check this out. It's gorgeous. I love that the dead bug soldering circuit involves all these diagrams and stuff too. It's real pretty. I think it's a really vibrant and eye-catching way to structure circuits. And one of the masters of that is Mohit Bhoite, who has published a few things on the site. Gorgeous work. He's at Particle now, you'll see. Vase Dazzler, great for lithophanes too. Cool, we've got an open source 3D printed vase stand with addressable RGB LEDs. So is it waterproof? Or do you put not real in there? How does it work? They fade between selectable colors. I wonder what they're using an Arduino Nano with an Arduino IDE. So the Nano, it looks like it's a non-wireless one. Yeah, that doesn't look like it has a wireless chip on it. You've got a NeoPixel ring here, you've got a potentiometer, you've got a power switch, 9-volt power connection, and another button. So a momentary switch, tactile, a rocker switch, and a potentiometer. Interesting. So you select the color effects using the push button, and the dial changes the brightness. Smart! Oh man, you having like a brightness dial on an LED project is clutch, whether it's a wearable or a home-based project. Wearables, of course, sometimes you end up in like an event and you don't want to be like shining real bright during someone's talk, or maybe you end up in a brighter or a lighter space. You don't want to blind people, but you also want your LEDs to be seen. So really good to have that on there. Same thing with having bright things in your house. I hate having bright lights, but I love a good atmospheric light, especially for Valentine's Day. Dazzling indeed. Very cool. So does this go underneath the vase so that it's waterproof? You shouldn't always necessarily trust, by the way, 3D printing to be waterproof either, especially if you've got sort of low extrusion, under extrusion problems. Definitely not going to be waterproof. And there's just it's just best not to rely on it unless you really know what you're doing. So bask in the awesomeness. Love a project where I get to bask. Oh, of course, they're 3D printed flowers. It's right there. Anyway, so next we've got a love quote generator. Pardon me, I need to say that properly. A love quote generator. Generator. And this was just published. Cool. Really cool to see a nice a new one getting some love. I will add to that. So what do we got? Randomized quotes based on a Xiao ESP32C3 and MicroPython. Love the Xiao series from Seed Studio. Love MicroPython. I adore MicroPython because it lives on the board. You don't have to look for where you put that code file like ages ago. I've been in this game for 10 years now, as I'm going to be diving into in a second. I've been at Hackster for 10 years. I've been doing hardware for longer, and let me tell you, the amount of old projects that I have lying around, and if you asked me what the name of the code file was that was on there, I would have zero clue. So it's great for that. But yeah, here you can store your love quotes on the device. The Xiao series of boards from Seed Studio is roughly equivalent to the Cutie Pie series from Adafruit. They're the same sort of footprint, and in some ways they're interchangeable, but compatibility not necessarily. So anyway, uh, if you're aware of that series of boards, these are quite similar, and this looks like a really cute little project. What kinds of you got a startup animation, love that. You got hit the button to get a new romantic quote. It's split into readable lines for the OLED display. You've also got some Seed Grove connector breakouts here for I2C peripherals and a LiPo connector. So what's this base here? I didn't actually look at the, oh, check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Does it, so it doesn't just randomize which quote shows up. It actually puts together 3 random lines. I love this. Okay, I can see why this got so much love. That's so cool. So you might get in your eyes, stars align, this is true love, and like any number of other combos. That's so cool. Okay, nice job. Nice job, people. Hendra, congrats. You'll be getting some Hackster swag. We've got a Valentine gift using a scrolling LED display. Look at this! Wow! A hand-assembled LED matrix. This is old school. We've got some transistors. We got some resistors, and this, wow, look at this. Oh, it's so good. Doing all that by hand. How many are in this? I'm not gonna count those. It looks like 20 or 25 across by 20 or 25 down. So like, oh man, that is so many LEDs. Tell us how many. Come on. Come on, come on. So cool. Oh, look at this chip they're using. A P89V51 RD2 controller. And then they've got this crystal for providing a clock signal. Wow, this is so cool. Oh man. So let's see, how many are there? BC547 transistors. Wow. Okay, I was gonna try and go kind of quickly with this, but look at these. This is this looks like AstroTurf or something. This looks like a carpet of hookup wire. What are you? What? What? This is wow. I love this. We just did a survey. We just got some results back from a survey that we did over the holidays, and I think we're gonna share some of that publicly. But um, it's interesting that we have like people who have been in the industry for decades, and I don't know, I'm not sure if this person is like how long they've been in electronics, but this is a classic project from about 9 years ago, and you can see just like, oh, it's incredible. Okay, did they say how many LEDs they grabbed for this? 600. It's got 600 LEDs on this thing. It's like 20 by 30, right? Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. Wow. It looks like an even square though, so probably not 20 by 30, but wow. That is incredible. I love just the broad variety of stuff that we get on the site. We've got a Valentine's Day magical bouquet. Anyone can go to the store and get flowers. Use an Arduino and some lights to make them magical. Yeah. Oh, Pat Dooley is in here asking about the back of the last board, and I'm glad that we got to see that because, wow. Okay, so, yes, I would prove to my wife that buying all this 3D printing stuff and kit boards had something for her in it, and in the process, hopefully get my family interested in electronics. A tale I have heard 1,000 times. Good luck. Romantic brownie points also good. Um, check these out. Did you design these? Where did they come from? We got, oh, Thingiverse. There we go. Thingiverse is an excellent platform, as is, you've got Thangs, you've got Cults 3D, and you've got printables, all these different online repositories where you can find 3D models that you can download and print for free with various types of licensing. So check those out. Uh, I hate LED strips. Ah, there we go. The 3M tape resists hot glue, that's true. And the glue on the top will peel the surface mount resistor off the LED strip. That's also true. If you have a newer one, I've definitely peeled the glue slash silicone slash whatever sealant off the top of lots of LED strips, and they do like to take the tiny components off. So props for dealing with that. I did a lot of bike lights with those. But check this out. Oh, I love how they're mounting this. Ha! Check it out. It's on a straw. Props for using what you've got around already. Whoa! I like the vintagey milk urn style mount here, which is not loading because my internet hates me, but that's fine. Check it out. All these different custom parts and enclosures. Where are these hosted? Thingiverse. Oh, nice. Paying it forward. Let's find out about that. I gotta have a look. I'm gonna close this other tab. Give my poor computer a break. You don't even want to know how many tabs I've got open. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, just published today. Cool. Rad. This is a really nice set of photographs, actually. That's beautiful. Okay, so next we've got Gioia, which is it's Italian. Does it mean joy or does it mean beauty? I think it means joy. I could be making that up though. Check that out. Ah, this is okay. Well, it says it right there. It means joy. Good job, me. I think this is beautiful. Um, I really like how this has the surface mount components completely visible, but it also looks very elegant. Often a challenge. Like I think that it's easy to put LEDs onto something. Often it can be a lot harder to make it look good and especially elegant. I think that California Steam does a great job of this. But look at this, huh? So are they RGB LEDs or is there an all red version and a rainbow version? Let's find out. Oh, they got sponsored by PCBWay. Do maximum of 24 single color LEDs or 8 RGB LEDs. So I guess those are single color. Very cool. That makes sense with the number of connections you have. 8 RGB LEDs, depending on the type you have. But assuming that you're using RGB LEDs that have a separate for each channel, could be common cathode or common anode, and then you'd have one other leg, or rather one common anode or cathode, and then the other 3 legs are the opposite, anode or cathode, one for each color. So, assuming that, then you'd have 3 channels per RGB LED, and then you'd have that. Managed by an ATtiny85 controller. I love those. ATtiny chips are amazing. They're so good for running some Arduino code on. Quite easy, cheap, small, low power. The ATtiny series includes other types of chips as well, that some of which have more or less flash memory and take more or less power and things like that. So you can also get different packages and just a really great series of chips. They designed the PCB in KiCad, love it, or KiCad, depending on your preference, and programmed it with the Arduino IDE. This was just published too. Congrats! Beautiful. Valentine's Day idea, days spent together counter, a photo. We've got an RTC on here. That makes sense. You don't want to be having your anniversary drift over the years. Be great. Not the best. Oh, they've been together a while. Nice. Oh, this is so cute. Everybody loves a hardware gift. You can't go wrong. Literally nobody on this earth will be mad about getting an electronics gift. That's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick to it. So this is beautiful. It's a cool thought. You don't see too many of these types of things, and yeah, very cute, very thoughtful. Spoil your Valentine. So this is the final one of our prizes today. We're gonna get a Hackster swag kit. We've got Spoil Your Valentine with Particle plus Spoil plus AWS. I believe Spoil service that allows you to send people nice things. And then you've also got one of these buttons I love. Adafruit has these wonderful metal push buttons that are, as they say, rugged, and they have an LED ring around them, so they just look so classy and refined. So giving an extra little sort of pizzazz to your project. As you see here, it also kind of resembles that sort of puckered effect you got with like a fancy leather couch or whatever. Oh, macaron. Delivered by Spoil.co. Particle Electron sends an order to Spoil.co on your behalf. I believe the Electron is the one in the particle series that has cellular data communication, and they use some Amazon services to handle the intervening steps in the IoT chain. Then they've got the chocolates. So this is an amazing con. I mean, strategy. You buy the fancy chocolate box, you eat the fancy chocolates, then you like create a thing that allows you to order fancy things for your partner. I love it. I love it. I hope that the recipient has mashed that button a number of times so that they got the full, recompense for all the chocolates being eaten. Or maybe you eat them together. I don't know. It depends on how your ethics run. I'm gonna respect that just for the audacity. So anyway, that's from like 8 years ago. Another classic. I love how we've got this big spread between like mm, new projects and classic projects in these top 14. We've also got a couple of mine in there, but of course I am not eligible to win this. So we've got my light up origami LED bouquet, and then a card I made a few years ago. But that's a cute little sort of basic paper circuit. If you are late on your Valentine idea and you just need, you can use these chibi circuits circuit stickers, and either copper tape or nylon maker tape, which is a really cool product from Brown Dog Gadgets. And then I've also got this light up origami LED bouquet, which I love because it's based on a jewel thief circuit, which allows you to run it off of supposedly dead batteries. So it's showing love for the earth as well. And I also love the idea of combining electronics with origami. So this was a fun way to do it. I've got a robot or two that also uses origami. And then hand-drawn diagram. Love it. I probably say love it on my own projects too much, but hey, I do love it. So whatever. More on Flower Lab. So, on to part 2 of our video here. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Hey! Ah, I'm giving spoilers! There we go. Alright, so, love letter to open source. I've been at Hackster for 10 years now. It has been, oh no, I'm not gonna get, okay. Whew. I've been at Hackster for 10 years, and oh boy. Gotta compose myself. I've said this a few times this week, this sort of thing, but it just, I didn't cry before it, but it's really true. I just adore this community and everyone, the way everyone participates so passionately. I think it contains some of the very best of open source hardware, and open source hardware itself is just such an incredible group of people who care about sharing information and making it accessible, making materials and tools accessible to other people, taking the things that we've learned from each other and paying them forward so that more people get to learn about this stuff that permeates the world that we live in. I think it's just an incredible uh, community of people doing really cool stuff. And a lot of it is like stuff based on climate technology and like other stuff to make the world a better place. Accessibility stuff. There's a huge accessibility, like assistive devices, even prosthetic limbs and things that have come out of this community. Everything all the way to like humanoid robots and such. Like, so in the spirit of open source, I wanted to share some of my favorite projects. We have coming up on Tuesday a Smart Citizen Cafe. So this is a group who have been working with FabLab, Barcelona, and Seed Studio to bring out the latest edition of the Smart Citizen kit, which I've got one here in the studio. I'm excited to open it up and talk about it with them. But we've got folks who will be coming on to tell us about that. It's an open source kit that helps people both learn about and contribute to citizen science. And it's been they've been doing iterations of this since 2012. And yeah, it should be a really good time. So tune in at 10:30 Pacific, 10:30 a.m. Pacific next Tuesday, or just go to our YouTube page and go click, subscribe, I think. I obviously don't have that option. But yeah, just go subscribe or bookmark this and go check it out. And you'll be able to see when it is on that page. A little bit more about the Smart Citizen Kit. Again, just one of those beautiful things that people are doing with open source. They had a version in 2011 and they've stuck with it, just like upgrading it and adding new stuff. And uh, yeah, what I love about open source is that like even if this were to get discontinued, since it's open source, we'll still be able to use it in the future. And that's sort of the heart of what my new project is about that I was talking about a second ago, is these adorable little sort of companion sort of bots. So it's an idea that I have to make just a really, really, really simple sort of the most the minimum viable sort of companion bot that I think would be like really at the same time really fun to play with. I see Jay on here. Hey, how's it going? Odd Jay is an incredible creator of companion bots, as I'm sure you've already seen. He has like from the Aussie robot spider that he published like I think at the end of 2018 to now when he's a celebrity for his robots. It's just, another thing that the open source community has brought me is an amazing friendship with Jay. You're such a cool person. Okay, so what does it actually do? Let's get into that. I am basically using this as an excuse to fuel my desire to resurrect the light blue bean. You may or may not have ever heard of this. It stopped being produced in 2018, but it was a little Bluetooth powered board that has a little, you can see my old solder on there. I had to desolder everything just now. It's got an attached proto board and a little RGB LED built in, and it has Bluetooth, a Bluetooth module. And for me, the huge thing about this was like it was very small. It's got an accelerometer built in, it's got an RGB LED indicator built in, and it can be programmed from your phone. They had a phone app called Bean Loader that allowed you to write Arduino code on your phone and update it and upload it from your phone. I went to a science hack day, which again, more citizen science, open source goodness. And I made something silly. I think I was actually working with this LED tattoo thing that I'm going to show you in a second. And I was standing in line to present and updating the code on my phone, which I love. It is so cool. Uh, it's just brilliant. And there's also another app called Handy BLE. I think because handy is the German word for mobile phone. Um, Also, it's handy. But yeah, so let me find the StreamYard again. Here we go. Um, So just being able to write Arduino code on your phone and update it from your phone is incredible when you're dealing with wearables, which is why this is a very basic wearable. Basically, to answer your question, what I'm trying to set up is a system whereby you can use the light blue bean, or I can anyway. I have a few of them left over, and I want to turn them into basically little plushy guys with a haptic vibration motor to make it purr. I made a purr module for robots a couple of years ago, and but this would just be like a basic little haptic motor I'd attach to the proto board, and then also have built-in um, parts on each plush, so I could swap the brain around, the light blue bean, but then have different plushes with different patterns of LEDs. And different, for example, touch sensors built in. Obviously, those are less easy to swap around because you've got to sort of dig them into there. So over the course of the last like couple of months, I've been gathering a number of different little plushies. Where's the whale? Here we go. Um, all like little light blue bots. Uh, so I'm calling these Beanie Bots, both because light blue bean and because kind of like you can make a Beanie Baby into this. So Beanie Baby bots. Yeah. So this is the question. It sucks it's not available anymore, or not really a question, but it's kind of a question. So here we go. The light blue bean was discontinued in 2018. At the time, they published their documentation and their hardware files. So if you go to the Bean page now, you'll see this. There was the original small one, which I loved, and the Bean Plus, which I didn't find as useful because it's much bigger, which is usually not a problem, but I specifically want to make wearables with this. I think that's where it really, really shines. So you can see that they sort of created this, as far as I can tell, as a sort of loss leader for their consultancy. So this is they still exist. Punch Through Design still exists as a Bluetooth consultancy. You can get them to in fact, they still have the light blue app, which you can use with light blue beans. Um, so you can still get in touch with this company. You can contract with them to make Bluetooth hardware with you, and apps, I think specifically. But some of this stuff is no longer available. So they do have a bunch of stuff on their GitHub. Props to them. And this is where, like, it's open sourced, but some of these links no longer resolve. The GitHub stuff is all there, but if you go to one of the READMEs, you'll find a link to some of the hardware files, and those links point back to places either on the punch-through website or somewhere else that no longer function as links. So fortunately, back in the day, I did grab those hardware files for the bean, the original light blue bean, and so here, yeah, if you click and look for the hardware files, you'll find these docs, you'll find the dimensions, which is really cool. But then these guys no longer resolve. They go to punchthrough.com pages that have been taken down. So I have these files. I've put them in a Google Drive, and I'm going to be publishing that as part of my upcoming project. Because it already is supposedly open source, it's just missing. So I'm going to make sure that it's still made available. And I think I might get in with them because I just discovered today that they're actually still around. But you can see some of the oh, we gotta resize here. You can see some of the previous projects that I made with these. So I did like a little tutorial on the basics and stuff of using this and how to use it with a buzzer. Although I'm realizing I did this. You can see this is an ancient one, 2016, 9 years ago, and I wrote a really terrible little app for just literally turning the buzzer on and off manually, which is not the way to do it. But you can see how this bean loader app used to work. Very cool. You can also see this, like, this is the thing that I was talking about where I was making a little animated LED tattoo. You can get the little LEDs going with the different digital pins and such. These all have the code down below. You can see how it worked. And then the creativity button, which is hard to explain, but you can read about it. It's basically something that induces a state of hypnagogia in your brain, allows you to hang out in the hypnagogic state, which is a very creative state of mind. And I just stuck one of these beans in an AWS dash button because it fit perfectly, which is incredible. I feel like I must still have this around somewhere, but who knows? Anyway, so the light blue bean, that's the deal with it. It is technically open source. However, the files can be hard to find. I'm going to make sure that they are still available. And this is where the community part comes in. So I'm relying on a bunch of different pages to sort of bring back the ability to program this. There used to be an app for iOS called BeanLoader. However, it's no longer available on the store. But there was also a CLI version for programming through the command line. There were also ones for like Windows and stuff and for Android. And so I'm basically going to like hunt through and see what the options are. Because if you look at this, through the Handy BLE app, you can still talk to this bean. And then I also want to tell you about this. We've got a mailbag, so stick around for that. Talking about this CoinCell Power board that's really, really cool from Alpenglow. And that's what I'm going to be unboxing in a second, along with some surprises, apparently. But yeah, if I plug this in, it just slots in here where you would put a coin cell battery, and then you turn it on, and we'll get a brief blue flash, but this is programmed such that it only does one quick blue flash, and then it sort of starts doing something else. So that's doing its thing. And then we go to the Handy BLE app, which hopefully you can see well without too many reflections. And then we go to the bean area to see what this is doing. And it should start. Oh, I've got to connect to it. Duh. Haha. Do the connecty by. Come on. Delete. So it's trying to connect now. You can see it going. Ah, there we go. So you can see that it's like publishing some debug messages. And I have no clue. Wait, was this the accelerometer info? Is it trying to publish accelerometer data? Well, it may be, but it's not doing it. Okay. Don't know. No clue. But you can see that it's interacting there. And the Handy VLE app basically allows you to create these sort of like on-the-fly creation of GUIs. And I'm going green, but you know, so it goes. Where you can edit them, you can drag these things around, you can like, I shouldn't do it on this one, I should do it on the example one I was playing with. So you can lock the GUI using this little lock thingy, and then you can also edit each object. Here we go. So you can hit edit, and then you get to like edit the button text and the color and the shape and all that good stuff. And then you can define, if you already have your bean programmed with specific commands and stuff, you can send those commands, like the name of a function or whatever, to act when you push or release the button. And then you can customize all that. You can drag it around on the screen like so, and then you can lock it in place. So this was a really cool companion app for the Bean that is still available, although the Bean app or Bean Loader app is no longer available. So basically I'm trying to sort of resurrect this ecosystem. Part of that is replacing the coin cell batteries with this coin cell power board from Carrie of Alpenglow. She gave this to me a while ago, and I love these so much that I decided to go and buy one of the 10 packs that they have on the website, which you can currently get for a discount. So let's go check that out. Here we go. So, coin cell power board from Alpenglow Industries. Check that out. How much is a single one? $7.95, but then you can save like $25 if you get more than that actually. Save a bunch of money if you get 10 of them at once for just $50, which like if you've got for example conference badges, cute little things of all types, things that you want that run on coin cells, but you don't want to throw away a ton of coin cells all the time. This is where the open source thing comes in again. It's not, I mean, this isn't necessarily an aspect of open source, but it's one thing that I love about the community is that we're able to reduce waste by doing things like this. And Carrie of Alpenglow has another thing apparently that's she's tucked into this package that just arrived today. Now, this new mystery item has never been, as far as either of us knows, announced on social media. So this may be the first ever sort of public release of this product, and we're gonna have a look. One of the other cool things actually is I want to share with you real quick my Green EE project, which is all about. I'd love to at some point start a small hardware business. Did a bunch of research about how to do that sustainably, and it features a section on shipping, which includes things like packaging. So I really appreciate that Carrie has gone to the length of using eco-enclose packaging for this. And you can find this just by like going to bit.ly/green-ee-notion, which is linked in the description to this video. So you can't use coin cell battery if they're dead. That's true. You can't use any battery if they're dead. Yeah, so I think this actually features a charging circuit as well that enables you to charge it, which is so cool. Oh, so much less waste of tiny coin cell batteries. Maybe not for earrings, but for everything else, really good for that. Um, let's see, does she say whether it includes a charging circuit? Let's see. I'm gonna share with the class here. So, oh yeah, you can chain these together. You can daisy chain multiple coin cell power boards and badges off of a single LiPo, which is so cool. Wow. Da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, this is super cool. Love it. Especially if you make badges. It's so good for that. All right, let's check out this mystery item. I am so impatient right now. I tend to ramble on, and it's fun, but we gotta get to the cool stuff. Always cut away from yourself. Maybe not in midair, though. Okay. That's our safety lesson for today. Safety tip. Love yourself for Valentine's Day. Don't cut towards yourself, and maybe try to be a little stable. Oh, I got a note from Carrie. Cool. By the way, I have a bunch more mailbag stuff, and it's a long weekend, so I'm going to do another quick stream tomorrow with some more mailbag stuff that is way overdue for sharing. We've got something here. What is it? Man. So in this bag are 10 of those USB power boards. Oh, it's a cool ruler. I have a whole collection of PCB rulers. I've got to do a video on that too. But check it out. The screwler. Wow. What is the deal? We've got to figure that out what this is. Okay, so clearly you've got M3, etc., like 3mm metric screws gauge thing. That's really cool. Actually, you know what? This is perfect. I've got Oh, it's for drill size, duh, when you're doing PCB design. Very cool. I do also have a giant collection of random screws and bolts that I've been meaning to organize, and I'm not sure whether threads on it. Someone is gonna tell me whether like the threads are counted or not on the M3 um, uh, designation. But yeah, you've also got a thread pitch gauge. Very cool. And then what's on the other side? We got ooh, imperial drill size closest metric. Very cool. So, oh, that's rad. That is so cool. Thank you, Carrie. Ah, okay. That's not the secret thing though. Where's the secret thing? Oh, there's some really cool glittery ink on this. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks real shiny. Love it. Here's a prototype thing too. It replaces a coin cell battery holder and directly makes the board powered via USB. Tell me what you think. That is so cool. Okay, more tea. AVE has some non-safe for work PCB rulers with coin cell LEDs. Wait, so who is AVE? I gotta find out. I would love to see that. Digital ruler might be more handy, I'd say. Sure, there's a ton of different rulers for different purposes, and I think that this is one of the more useful ones I've seen for sure. So you've always got those like, at every event, there's also like DigiKey gives out a massive amount of like red rulers and stuff. Here we go. But let's so I'm just going to dive into here instead of rambling forever. Okay, so we've got these 10 coin cell power boards, each in their own little, you've got some really nice packaging to make them all nice and cozy. You got daisy chainable JST connector cables, so you can attach a bunch of these to a single LiPo battery. And then they're all cozy in there. Cool. Let's look at the special thing. Oh, and it comes with scan here for instructions and a description of what it is, all that good stuff. Love it. Again, I ordered these with like my own money because I'm so excited about these. I love having things that don't have to run on a billion coin cell batteries because, but it is a really convenient format, and I often go to events and end up with a bunch of badges that have that. This is it sealed, or do I just have to be smarter than the bag, which is sometimes difficult. Okay, it's got actual heat sealing. I'm not just being. No, here we go. Haha! I'm smarter than the bag. There's the quote for today. Got a drum roll from Pat Dooley. Thank you. All right, cool. So we've got a chilly little cloud, and we've got the thingy. This is a little green board that, as Carrie said in the note, replaces a coin cell battery holder. So this is USB-C, and basically enables you to run, instead of soldering a surface mount or hole battery holder for coin cells to your PCB, if you're assembling one, you can solder this on instead to the footprint. So for example, here on this PCB that she sent with the chilly snow cloud, I love this whole series, by the way. You can also get these on the Alpenglow website. There's a really cute little happy storm cloud that I love. But this is adorable too. So instead of soldering on a battery holder, and then you're, obligated to forever feed this thing just, wasteful CR2032 batteries, instead you can solder this on, and then I can't do this backwards. But check it out. See where those lines match up, or those holes match up rather? You've got a perfect mate where you solder these castellated edges of the positive and negative contacts to there. And now instead of having a battery holder that you have to constantly fill with new batteries or stick in one of these coin cell battery power adapters for LiPos, instead you just attach this little green guy and now you can power it with USB-C instead. I love it. I love this. I'm gonna have to, so this is at the end of a very long video currently. So I'm gonna have to do a separate like little video or post or something about that. But thank you, Carrie. This is so cool. I got really excited earlier on like I jumped on a Discord call that was going on because I saw Carrie on there and I was like, hey, I got a bunch of your coin cell boards and I want to talk about them on the video. Do you want to talk about anything else?" And she was like, "Oh, didn't I also send you one of those things?" And I was like, "I don't know." And it turned out it was on my doorstep at at that very moment. So I did the video a little later. We also got some really cool little holographic stickers. Three or four different types here. I can't tell well enough whether those two on the ends are different, but perhaps a connoisseur of hollow stickers can tell me. We got more holographic things. What does it say? Irreverent electronics that spark delight. They surely do. They surely do. We got some more, so many stickers. We got some unicorns. We got some of these guys. Beautiful. And of course, we got like a little invoice thingy that has my address on it, so we're not going to look at that. Anyway, also it's an invoice. You don't need to look at that. Okay, cool, awesome. What's this? PS. Oh, what's this question? I got some questions cooking in my head from which I'm seeking pro support and what? This video is getting a little long and it may not be relevant to now, but I'm very curious what your questions are about. Uh, how about if you say real quick what sort of the theme of your questions is, and whether it's something that I'll see if it's something that we could go into real quick, or maybe someone else can answer in the comments, or maybe something to follow up on. In the meantime, everyone check out the links in the description to this video. We've got the links to the coin cell power board from Alpenglow, this little green replacement for coin cell battery holders, through hole or surface mount, is not yet available. It hasn't even been posted yet. This is the first public appearance. Love it. And then also, but there is this coin cell power replacer adapter thingy that you can find on Alpenglow, again in the description, along with one or two of the projects that I talked about in terms of my own past ones with the light blue bean. And then also we've got that contest. The winners will be getting contacted by the Hackster team to ship out the swag to you. Everybody else go check out the Valentine's tag. Maybe for next year, if you fell down this year on your obligations, maybe for next year you'll find some inspo. Mm. And maybe next year you'll get featured, which would be cool. Mhm. So let's see. You're programming a Bluetooth module. I don't have a ton of experience programming Bluetooth modules outside of the Light Blue Bean. I love Bluetooth boards, including like the Bluefruit LE, which actually Punch Through Design, the creators of the Light Blue Bean, do themselves recommend that you use the Bluefruit LE board from Adafruit, which is a really good board I have worked with that also works with, I forget whether it's Arduino or MicroPython or both, CircuitPython being the Adafruit equivalent. It is a great board. It's sort of like a Circuit Playground Express, but with Bluetooth. Amazing combo. But yeah, that's most of the extent of my Bluetooth knowledge. How can I reach you personally? Well, I'm not doing like consulting for Bluetooth stuff. This sounds like it might be not quite my area of expertise, but what I would recommend is that you look around on Hackster for people who are making similar stuff to what you're looking to do, and or Punch Through Design is uh, a consultancy that does that exact type of thing. So, you have just submitted your project. Are you late for joining this? So, technically, the campaign is over. We've announced the winners. I went through them on the stream. But I will say that, since it was a very short campaign, the likelihood of someone who was publishing a new project may not have had a great chance with that. If you happen to have like an existing project, this was more the kind of thing where like we want to make sure that everyone who publishes a project puts the tags on their project so that when we have a little mini campaign like this, we can get you the attention that you deserve on your cool projects. So if you look at the example here, but again, you can have a look at it's really just if you go to the Valentine's tag on Hackster, you can see for yourself who the winners are. Just sort by the most respected. So except for me, I have a couple of Valentine's projects in there. My computer is still struggling thanks to the Wi-Fi, but we'll get this sorted out in a second. You just go up here, go to most respected, and then you ignore the ones by Alex Glow, and all the other ones in the top 14 will be getting a swag package from Hackster. So, all these cool people. Yeah, I think since there's 2 of mine in there, it means that these top 16 are mostly the ones that are going to win. So congratulations to those folks again. Thank you all for joining. I am so happy to get to talk a little bit more about open source and why I love it. I mean, I kind of do that 24/7 anyway, but just hearts and hack on, I guess. Thanks for joining. Thanks again to Carrie for sending that over. Folks, I'm going to try and do another mailbag stream tomorrow, just because it's the start of a long weekend. There'll be some fun stuff to play with. I got a bunch of uh, things in the mail, some of which have been sitting here for a while, and I just haven't managed to share them yet. So some really cool things, both from the mail and this thing, which I'm just gonna flash on the screen for a second, which is really cool. Didn't come in the mail, but it's still a cool present. Anyway, let's see. All right, cool. I think that's all we've got. Indeed, the campaigns sound interesting, says a comment. Be sure to follow Hackster News and stay tuned for more of those. Have an awesome rest of your day or night, depending what it is for you. Thanks for joining, and as I said before, hearts and hack on.